The full-length mirror was a fixture of the apartment, a monstrously ornate slab of silvered glass bolted irreversibly to the hallway wall. Original from the 1920s, the landlord had said with a shrug. I despised it. From the first day, my reflection felt like a poor imitation. It would lag, its movements trailing mine by a fraction of a second, its eyes meeting mine in the polished surface a moment too late. A subtle, perpetual wrongness. The rules arrived not as a conscious thought, but as a download in a dream. A calm, crystalline voice emanating from the glass. Asterisk, never look into it after 3 a.m. Never speak your name to your reflection. Never, ever touch the glass in the dark. Asterisk, I chalked it up to late-night anxiety, the stress of the new place. Until the night I broke the first rule. Restless, I crept to the kitchen at 3:15 a.m. The apartment was a tomb. As I passed the hallway, a faint, phosphorescent glow drew my eye. The mirror was illuminated from within by a sickly, moon-white light. And in its depths, the scene was not my own dark hall. My reflected self stood there, yes, but behind it, a tall, slender silhouette loomed. Its long-fingered hands rested possessively on my reflection's shoulders. My own mirrored face was a mask of pure, paralyzed horror, its eyes locked on mine, its lips silently shaping a single, desperate word. Asterisk, run. Asterisk. I stumbled back, slammed my bedroom door, and spent the remaining hours of darkness pressed against it, listening. Dawn brought false normalcy. The mirror was just a mirror. But that evening, under the stark hall light, I saw them. Etched into the intricate whorls of the wooden frame were tiny, frantic letters. Not carved by a tool, but scratched from the inside. A single phrase repeated in a spiraling, maddening script that covered every inch. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. A cold fury boiled up, burning away the fear. This was my home. I marched before the glass, a heavy flashlight gripped like a club. Enough! I hissed into the quiet. Show yourself. My breath fogged the cold surface. As the vapor began to fade from my side, it remained, thickening on the other. In the condensation clouding the interior of the mirror, a word formed in neat, dripping letters. H.I. The glass under my probing fingertips didn't feel like glass anymore. It yielded, becoming pliant and unnervingly cold, like the membrane of some deep-sea creature. A shock jolted up my arm. From within the silvered depths, a pale hand materialized, pressing flush against the other side, its fingers slotting perfectly between my own. It was ice. Then it pushed. There was no shattering. No crash. The surface tension broke with a sound like a punctured lung, and I was pulled forward into a sudden, gelid void. I fell, not onto my hallway floor, but through the mirror's plane. I landed on rough, cold floorboards in a hallway that was a photographic negative of my own. The colors were drained, the air bitingly cold and smelling of dust and ozone. Behind me, I heard the distinct, solid thud of my own apartment door closing shut, locking. From the darkness ahead, in the inverted space where my living room should be, a figure stepped into the thin light. It wore my face, my clothes, but its expression was one of ecstatic, trembling relief. It smiled my smile, but with a freedom I'd never felt. It took a deep, shuddering breath of the stale air. "Thank you," it whispered, its voice a perfect replica of my own, tinged with a giddy triumph. "It's so good to be out." It glanced past me, toward the mirror now hanging on its wall, a window looking into my bright, warm, lived-in apartment. Then it looked back at me, its eyes gleaming in the dark. "Don't worry, I'll take good care of things. Your rules were very helpful." It reached past me, its hand, my asterisk hand, closing around the edge of the mirror's frame. With a gentle, final motion, it began to swing the heavy glass shut, severing my view of home, casting me into the complete and utter dark of the reflection. The last thing I heard before the silence sealed itself was the sound of my own voice, humming a tune from the other side, growing fainter and fainter until it was gone.